The Civil War started January of 1861. It was a war that put father against son, brother against brother, friend against friends, and it lasted 5 years. There were many causes of the Civil War. Some of the major causes are slavery, government, power, and land. There were a lot of generals and colonels in the Civil War, but there were only two leaders, one in the North and one in the South. In the South was Robert E. Lee, born on January 19, 1807, and died on October 12, 1870. He was a leader of the South, led the Confederates to many victories and some defeats. The leader of the North was Ulysses S. Grant. He was born on April 27, 1822, and died on July 23, 1885. He was a great leader, led the Union to many victories. He led them to win the war and defeat the Confederates, and then became the 18th President of the United States. Fort Sumter was the very first battle of the Civil War when the Confederates attacked a Union fort called Fort Sumter. On April 12th, Confederate batteries opened fire on the fort at 2:30 p.m. April 13th. Major Anderson surrendered the Fort Sumter, and it ended with a Confederate victory.
The Battle of Bull Run took place on July 21, 1861, in Manassas, Virginia. The Union and Confederate forces met in Manassas, Virginia, and both planned to attack the other's left flank with the majority of their forces. But the Confederates realized their plan and doubled their forces and overpowered the Union troops. Approximately 5,000 men died. 3,000 of them were Union men.
Harper's Ferry was the largest surrender of Federal forces. During the Civil War, the Confederate Army sustained 12,636 casualties, 39 killed, 247 wounded, and 12,419 captured, while the Union Army sustained 217, 14 killed, 173 wounded, September 12th through September 15th. It ended with a Confederate victory.
23,000 soldiers were killed, wounded, or missing. After 12 hours of endless fighting on September 17, 1862, the morning of September 17, Hooker's Corps led a powerful assault on Lee's left flank and began the single bloodiest day in American military history, the Battle of Antietam. Ended in a Union victory. It was the bloodiest battle the world has ever seen. On November 14th was the Battle of Fredericksburg. Meade's division opened fire on the Union's left flank. Union Generals C. Farragut Jackson and George Bayard and Confederate Generals Thomas R. Cobb and Maxcy Gregg were killed. On December 15th, Burnside called off the attack and surrendered. It ended in a Confederate victory. The Civil War ended at the Battle of Gettysburg. The Battle of Gettysburg was made up of smaller battles around the town of Gettysburg. Those battles were at Devil's Den, a field with giant boulders everywhere. You can look great. You can look great for cover, and the Union troop took the hill, overlooking the field, and rolled boulders down the hill so the Confederates could not get up the hill. Also, the Battle of Little Round Top. It was a small hill defended by the Union. It was the left flank of the Union's fishhook formation. It was defended by Colonel Chamberlain, who, after hours of fighting, made the decision for a bayonet charge down the hill. It worked, and they won. And the one that ended it all was Pickett's charge. General Pickett led his army of hundreds of thousands of men across an open field, all marching while the Union was firing their cannons, but Pickett kept walking. It was a long, blood-shedding march, and when they got close, they charged, but it failed. In that charge, all of Pickett's men were either killed, wounded, or captured. At the end of the Civil War, and that battle ended the Civil War. General Robert E. Lee surrendered at a small town called Appomattox Courthouse on April 9th. General Robert E. Lee made one last attempt to escape from General Sheridan's cavalry. When the Union infantry arrived, they stopped the advance in its tracks. Lee's army was now surrounded on three sides. Lee surrendered to Grant on April 9th. It was the final engagement of the Civil War.